your precious time and to be with us. And then today gonna be very important session. So I welcome you to this session, Craig. And
Thank you.
yes, and yes, and I hope that UK. I hope that things will be very good uh, after pandemic as well. So a lot of things are changing, right?
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
exactly.
yes, yes. And as you said,
Crazy.
yes,
But I hope once the pandemic's over, um, I hope life goes back to normal and we can actually meet in person at some point as well.
yes, very true, very true. So we are hoping the same as well. I'm sure that things will become far better in coming days. And as you are into SEO for so long, and there are a lot of queries that we are coming up because we started promoting it through our community, and we want to learn. So objective is we want to learn as many things we can from this session. And SEO is evolving. From last 10 years, the way we see SEO from 10 years, it's all evolving. So my first question to you is like how it's so important for link auditing. So, but do you still think that for Google ranking factor, links are still the number one ranking factor, and why link audit is so important, and why we need to pay a lot of attention to link audit as well?
Yeah, link building has been so important throughout all the years of SEO and its existence. However, over the years, that has changed slightly. Google are looking for links with relevance. They're looking for they pass more value to links that have traffic and rankings. So, people always think Google's changed the goalposts in some way, and they have in certain ways, but a lot of people think, maybe link building is not as important as it once was. It still very much does play the biggest factor in ranking a website, in my opinion. And, it has evolved, it has changed, but it's still super, super important. I think you just now have to look at doing it properly, whereas 10 years ago, links were links, directory spam, social bookmarking, all the garbage that everyone has probably played with. But you have to look for a little bit more quality now.
Quality links. Very true, very true. And any specific metrics that you're looking at, when you do link audit, because now we understood link audit is so important because links, they do have different value, right? So every link is not of same value. They do carry some value in it. So my question is like, do you have any specific metrics, when you did link audit? So any specific metrics that you look? Yes.
So I am looking for links, and initially I want them to be relevant, but what I'm also looking for is for the websites that those links come from is not to be saturated. Now, if that website's got 1 million external links going out, the power and value that website linking to me is going to give is very, very minimal, even if the DR is very, very high. Now, you need to make sure that you're getting good quality links from websites that not everyone else is on. We can all go out there and buy a link on Thrive Global, Market Watch, and things like that. Now, they're very powerful websites, but the value they bring is minimal because everyone's got a Thrive Global link or a Market Watch link. So I'm looking for something that has a lower amount of external links, and I'm also looking for that website to be getting traffic. I want a link from a website that gets traffic. Many link vendors selling links are selling links from websites that get little to no traffic. And that means the juice that Google is going to give you from that is zero. So traffic and external links are two of the main things I look for.
Yes, yes, and I believe that we need to put a lot of efforts in order to get those kind of links, right?
Yeah.
Because if links are harder to get, it has probably going to have some more value because, as you said, we're going to find some pages which don't have a lot of external links or a lot of inbound links to that specific page. And you see that in market there are a lot of tools which are available. You talked about KPIs. There are a lot of tools available. SEMrush is there. Majestic is there. You talked about DR, which is coming from Ahrefs. A lot of sites. And one of the questions that I always get, and my students ask, even I have seen people asking in community as well, which tool do you recommend when it comes to strictly link auditing? So I was, I also saw your LRT clinic session as well. So link research tool, and I have been following Christopher Kemper as well. So my question to all of you, which tool do you think is best for amateur, someone who is starting career in SEO, or someone who is doing, having 4, 5, 6 years of experience in search engine optimization? So top tools.
Yeah.
So what tools you use?
I would probably, purely based on link building and cost and everything else, I would say the Ahrefs is the best. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean SEMrush is bad or LRT is bad or Majestic's bad. LRT is really, really good and really in-depth, but it's not cost-effective for most people.
Yes.
It's probably more expensive than any other link research tool out there. However, it has a lot more data. It has some really good extra stuff that Ahrefs and SEMrush don't do. So you need to understand that the tools, on their pricing, SEMrush and Ahrefs are probably very similar. LRT is way up there, but average person doesn't need LRT unless you're fighting spam and things like that. Now, LRT is the premium if someone's smashing you with spam, and you can do your link detox and you can go really in depth into link auditing. But for everyone else out there, I believe that Ahrefs has the best and most accurate and most in-depth link analysis if you're looking at the competitor.
Yes, as you rightly said, because LRT, they do have a lot of data, detox and all those things are there with. They do have a lot of data and a lot of matrices. But Ahrefs, yes, because we also use Ahrefs. SEMrush is good. So it comes to paid. Then we use SEMrush, so paid content audit, link audit. Then you rightly said, so as a beginner, someone who is starting, probably Ahrefs is going to add a lot of value. And for expert, probably you will recommend, link research tool or some other tools as well.
Right? Yeah, if you've got the money, then it's like buying a Rolls Royce. You're asking me what car do you want to drive. If you've got the money, buy LRT. That's like the Rolls Royce, but not everyone can afford a Rolls Royce.
Very true. I suppose this is one of the costliest tool in the industry, I guess, link research tool.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice. And when we do link audit and all, we always come across 2-3 words, which is link juice and link equity. So can you quickly tell our viewers, what exactly is a link juice, and how does it matter when we talk about link equity? Because there are a lot of diversified links which are coming from a lot of different websites. So so can you, if you can give me a quick idea, like link equity and link juice, and how does that happens and put impact on ranking as well?
Yeah, so link juice, the only way I can describe it to maybe someone who doesn't understand is if you squeeze an orange and it's old and it's out of date and it's been lying in the sunshine for 5 weeks, there's no juice in it. It's the same as getting a link from a really crap website. There's no juice. Now, if I get a fresh orange and squeeze it, all of that juice runs out. It's got inner minerals, value, things that are going to help me as a human being thrive. And that's the only way I can really describe link juice. If I want a link, or I want my body to get good vitamins and stuff, then I want a fresh orange, not some dead orange that's been lying for God knows how long. So it's the same with websites. You want a link, and that juice that's going to come from, the Indian Times or something, something crazy like that. It's going to be real power, real juice coming from that. And if you got something on, like, I don't know, some crap news, that's essentially what it is. Link equity is kind of the same as link juice. Like you're looking at the value that a link's getting you. It's the same as how much money have you got in the bank, or how much do you have in a house equity wise. Link equity is all about the value that's in that link, and again, that comes down to the juice that's there, and the traffic that's going to that, and everything else, that particular website. So they are kind of very similar, but at the end of the day, that's the best way to describe them. Again, putting it to a car, you're asking me to compare a Volkswagen to a Ferrari, and the Ferrari's going to have all the juice. The Volkswagen, no one cares about.
Nice, great example. Now, I guess it's very clear for our audiences that if you have a good website, relevant website, good traffic, so it's automatically going to bring a lot of value. It depends on a lot of KPIs and all, but you explained very well. Orange example was very, very good. And 2021 going to be very strategic, because as you said, even in Indian market, if I talk about Indian market or Asia Pacific, in India, a lot of people, so majority rural India now came to internet. A lot of people are coming online, businessing, a lot of opportunities. What are the top 3 link building strategies that you will suggest in 2021 for SEO professionals?
I think the first strategy you have to do would be to go out and build some foundational links. And what I mean by that is citations, directories, geo-specific links. These are all foundational links, which you're only going to do that once. And then secondly, you potentially want to do outreach or buy guest blog posts. Yes. Whatever you want to do, you want to have those links from niche specific websites. The third thing that I find really important, and I wouldn't use this as a one-time strategy, you've got to add this at the end, but if you want to use PBNs, 301 redirects, and that type of strategy, you don't want to go all out at that at the start. You want to build foundational links, buy some guest posts, and then the icing on the cake would just be a sprinkling of some PBNs and 301 redirects using expired domain names, and point those into different sections of your website. And you should probably at that point have a fairly good mix of different types of links.
Okay, so these are some of the top 3 things you talked about. Citations going to be very important. Geolinks going to be really very, very important. PBN probably, because the problem with guest posting, what I have observed, a lot of people I'm saying, probably, do you still suggest buying guest posting links from some good websites? Because a lot of people, they do this in market.
Personally, yes, I would buy them. Now, there's a little trick to buying a guest post. So I buy a guest post I buy 5 guest posts.
Okay.
That would form a tier of links that point to my money website. Now, underneath those guest posts, I will use SEO links. I will use automation. I will use every type of spam that I possibly can to power up that guest post. You need to power up the guest post. If you don't, then these links are not going to pass you a huge amount of value. So when you hear people talking about tiered link building, guest posts form a buffer between your main website and all the shitty spam underneath that. Now, spam still works, but I don't want to point spam directly at my money website for obvious reasons. So I would use those guest posts as a layer to give them a bit more power.
Nice. And any specific tool you use to outreach? And also we have got some tools in the market like Ninja Outreach you talk about. There is another tool which I came across, which I started trying, which is Postaga, which I've been using for my businesses. So any specific tool that you require? Because when you talk about outreaching towards all guest bloggers and then creating content, so do you have any tool in mind which can help us to automate? Because you are emphasizing on one word, which is automation, and I'm also a huge fan of doing work on automation. So do you have any specific strategy, talking to a lot of people at one time and then outreaching them, creating content for them, and also same time working on the quality of the site, the kind of links they have, their important KPIs like DNPA. So my question is, do you recommend any tool, when it comes to outreach at larger scale, or you advise you do to manually, let's say?
No, never manual. But why would you do manual work? To hell with that. Am I allowed to share my screen here?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
Right. Give me 1 second and I'll show you the tool
that
I recommend. So there's a tool out there called pitchbox.com.
Pitchbox. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, this is the best outreach tool there is on the market. Now, the difference between Pitchbox and something like Ninja Outreach is that Pitchbox, if I go to Ahrefs, for example, and I export all of the links that my competitor has, Pitchbox scrapes all of those emails for me. So all I need to do is put the URLs in. I don't need to go to another tool to get all the email addresses or anything like that. Now, with Pitchbox, you can also report to clients, management, and you can have multiple, like you can literally have hundreds of personas on here, all doing their outreach at the same time for all different campaigns. So you can set up all of your campaigns in Pitchbox and basically do everything that you need to do on a massive scale. Now, it's a CRM. It does the follow-up. It does all of that good stuff. And it's really, really, the best tool for outreach is Pitchbox. Now, as I say, it's again looking at tools and the cost of them. Pitchbox is it's like $500 a month, but if you're working on a large scale, that tool really is an essential part of it. If you're going to use Ninja Outreach, it's clunky. The user interface is crap. And you can go cheaper again. You can use things like Mailshake and stuff like that as well. But there's no CRM. There's no internal scraping tools, and it doesn't pull it all together. Where Pitchbox does everything all in one interface, and it keeps it all connected. So if I've got virtual assistants or VAs or whatever you call these guys, you can basically log all them in, and they can see certain parts of the data. You can stop them from seeing other campaigns they're not working on. So in terms of being a link manager, if you like, so I'm the link manager. I could have 10 VAs, one just logged into every different campaign, and no one can see each other's data. But for me, I can see everything. So in terms of managing that whole process, it's very simple and easy as well. So it's a great tool. Pitchbox is the best one.
Nice, because I can really understand a lot of work, a lot of hard work goes into, pitching to a lot of clients and then coordinating with them, sending and follow-up emails and all, and then convincing them to put content on their own website.
Yeah.
Right? So thanks a lot for sharing this wonderful tool with all of our viewers. I guess viewers started, there are a lot of people who are seeing us live as of now. And Shiva can tell us if we have any question coming from viewers. So viewers, we have a very good opportunity today. So you can ask question. If you have any question, you can please ask. So we'll see question in some time, Craig. Probably Shiva will tell us that if we have got any questions. So now next thing which I want to ask, key content auditing is again very important. So one side we are talking about link audit, because the quality of link is so important. And what is the use of that link if your website is not okay, if the content is not okay, right? Because content is again very important. So my question is like, can you give us some idea, what are the best ways to do content audit, and what are the top KPIs? Because you see on digital platform, there are a lot of KPIs, a lot of metrics available. So what are your top metrics, and how you quickly do content audit and all? So
right. I'm just going to share my screen. Give me 1 more second again. So I personally use a tool called Page Optimizer Pro.
Nice.
Now, there are alternatives like Surfer SEO and Market News and various other very similar tools. But just to give you an idea of what this tool does and what it looks like, let me scroll down here. So I'm just going to go to this page here. Now, I've audited a page on my website, and it gives me a score of 27.6 out of 100. Now, what this tool is doing is it's scraping the top 10 search results for the keyword of my choice. And it's given me an average word count of the top 10 search results. And it's telling me to increase my word count by 656 words. Now, one of the most common mistakes is when people are writing content, they literally just say, go and write 500 words of content, and they give that to a VA or they outsource it somewhere. Now, who said 500 words of content is enough to rank for that particular keyword that they're doing that for? So the only way you can do this properly is by auditing the content and understanding what the top 10 are doing that you're not. So this tool also gives you the page titles. It gives you the subheadings. Now you can see these red dots here, and the red dot means I don't have these on my page. So it's given me guidance on the subheadings that I should be using. It's also given me semantically related keywords that I can add to that content. Again, lots of red dots that I could be adding to make sure that that page ranks for a whole bunch more keywords. And also at the very bottom, it also gives you your competitors' titles. It gives you related keywords, and it also gives you related questions. Now, over and above your page content, you can also do a lot with related questions, FAQs, and adding schema around about that will allow you to take up more of the landscape on page one. So that's why it's really important to do a content audit using a tool like Page Optimizer Pro, Surfer, Market Muse, or whatever tool you want to use. But the problem I've got is a lot of people guess what content they need. They're not making decisions based on data. And that is a problem, because who is deciding that you should be doing 500 words? People are just making that up based on, you know, trying to save money and stuff like that. I'm an affiliate marketer. I don't care about saving money. I need to make money. My livelihood is dependent on doing the job properly. So, of course, if you're doing client work and the client's not paying you a lot of money, they don't get this level of in-depth service. But if you want the job done properly, that's the right tool to use.
Right. So what we are understanding is we need to have very logical approach. We need to see data in front of us, which is important. And we need to see a lot of things. We need to see customers' intentions. We need to see what all things we can add in headline or sub-headline. So we need to do competitive analysis. So if I want to rank, because not all content rank on Google search engine, so we need to do a lot of research. And this is the good tool that you have suggested. Probably I'm going to use that tool as well. And because I've seen, you know, there are a lot of tools which are available these days coming up. You know, there are a lot of AI tools which are coming up. So I've been using Market Muse as well. So as of now, results are good. But as you rightly said, you need to have correct data. So we need to make decision, right, on the basis of data, right? Data is so important. You need to have some data before you make any decision.
Exactly. There needs to be a reason for everything that's done, and data is the key to this whole process.
Yes, it means that we need to invest in tools, right? So probably if you want to get the work done, we need to invest in some good outreach tool. We need to invest in some good link auditing tool. And then obviously, if we talk about content, we need to have some tool which can really good get us some very good insights when we talk about content.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you know, technical part always plays very important role for any website. So any specific, you know, KPIs that you look, you know, when you do a technical audit, apart from, you know, time on site or bounce rate?
I mean, technical is relatively important now. There's so many different things that can come under the technical brand, you know, broken links, not doing redirects properly, all of these things. You know, speed is important. What I would say is people become obsessed with certain parts of technical SEO. Now, if you use WordPress and you add a plugin like WP Rocket and you make your website load in under 2 seconds, that's enough. Now, the difference in making your website go from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds is minimal. It's not that important. Now, people always obsess with, I'm doing more technical, I'm, you know, doing all this stuff. As long as your website loads within reason, you ain't going to have a problem. So, you know, site speed's not hugely important for me. What is hugely important is to run a regular site audit, because I do this myself. I will take down a blog post that no longer gets traffic, and sometimes I forget to do a 301 redirect. Now, if you're, you know, reshuffling the content around in the back end of your website, it's very easy to make mistakes. Now, what Google doesn't want is broken links, 404 pages, and all of this garbage. So I make mistakes, you make mistakes, everyone makes mistakes. So do regular site auditing, because it's normally when you do an audit, it's stupid things that are broken, or you forgot to tag something, or you know, you forgot to do the redirect. So keeping on top of that is more important than obsessing over, you know, other technical things. That it's all about percentages. What moves the needle the most? Content and links. Do we need to become obsessed with technical? No. But is it important? It is to have the basic fundamentals in place and make sure that your website is 100% functioning. There isn't broken links, there's no dead pages and all of that stuff. So that is, you know, hugely important. Now, you can argue that technical audits for e-commerce websites is a little more important. You know, when you've got big e-commerce websites that have got product variations and all that kind of stuff, you have to be more technical, because you need to watch the crawl budget. You need to filter some of the URLs, you know, from being indexed by Google, because it's duplicate content, it's wasting crawl budget and all of that stuff. So, you know, when it comes to big websites, e-commerce and stuff, technical is probably slightly more important than just your average blog. So you have to be a little more in depth on an e-commerce website.
Fine. So thanks for answering this question. Now we have one question from a viewer, and Pratik is having this question. So Craig, what he's writing is if keywords are very competitive, sir, if keywords are very competitive, then what would be the best strategy? Do we need good amount of content? And he's giving example 1500 to 2500 words on a page, or good amount of relative niche backlinks.
So Pratik, there is a perfect example of you trying to make a decision without any data. You're asking me, should it be 1,500 keywords, or, you know, between 1,500 and 200? Now, if I was to go to Page Optimizer Pro, the answer is there. I don't know your niche.
Okay.
Now, it would be crazy for me to sit here and say 2,500 words is required, because I have no clue. Now, you need to do what the guys in the top page are doing. So if that's only 800 words, then it's only 800 words. You know, that's all you need to do. So that's where Page Optimizer Pro is super important, rather than you thinking, I need more content, I need 2,500 words. 2,500 words may be way over the top, nowhere near, you know, you need nowhere near that amount. And obviously it costs a hell of a lot more than 800 words. So you have to get the content done properly first, regardless of what keyword you're going for. Now, get the content and on-page done first, and then look for niche relative backlinks. Now, you might only need 3 backlinks. You might need 5, you might need 10. Now, as long as that on-page is on point, you will rank maybe page 1 or 2 or 3. Throw a couple of links at it and see where that takes you to, and then throw another couple of links and see where that takes you to. There's no definitive amounts or figures that I can give you. I've ranked a page with 1 link before. So good on page, that's the strategy. Look at the competition and see what they're doing, and then build your links, and that's it. But use data, don't just guess what's going on.
Okay, fine. That's nice. So hope Prateek got answer to this question. So it's all about data-driven approach. That's why we always say that data is so important. So as you said, what I'm getting is very important to see what 10 links are coming on the first page, what kind of content they're writing, and then try to add value to content. Because I always feel writing big content itself sometimes can be a myth, because it's all about solving intentions. Ultimately, we need to have more page engagement. We need to people make sure that they should spend more time on the website, because that also matters, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And one thing is, because when we talk about data, when we talk about content, any specific tips that you will share with us when it comes to content research? Because I guess content research is again very important, not only in terms of blog, but any type of content that we create on the web. So any specific tips that you will share when we do content audit or content research? Yes.
Again, go back to the likes of Page Optimizer Pro. You want to look at the guys that are winning. Those guys in page 1 are all the ones that are winning for the terms that you want to rank for. So literally that tool is telling you how many words, what titles, what subheadings, what FAQs, what semantically related keywords are needed. So you basically have a template there to then give that to a virtual assistant or your content writer, and they can do the rest. So it's very simple and easy. It's not any harder than that. And I think one tip I would say to people is, anytime I've been hiring content writers and various other people, they confuse it in their head. This is really simple. It just has to be unique. Now, I've had content writers getting confused and they say, Craig, it can't be this easy. Is that easy? Title, content, subheading, have your keyword in the URL. That's it. That's it. There's no more. Look at the guys that are winning and mirror what they're doing. That's it. There's no magic trick to this.
Okay, fine. So there is another question which is coming as how we can get clients from abroad. So let's say someone who wants to start their own SEO business, how we can get a clients. Quick tip. Yes, Craig.
What I would say to anyone from your country, and I don't mean this in any way to be disrespectful, but someone from the UK or America tends to look at Indians as spammers. So you need to find a way, because literally my inbox gets flooded every single day with people saying, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. Now, I'm talking about 200 times a day. Now, that cold outreach does not work. People associate that as spam. Now, what you need to do is go a bit deeper. Try and create relationships with people, network properly, talk to people, show case studies in Facebook groups, do videos like this. People will come to you. There's a massive lack of quality. People are always looking to hire a content guy, a link builder, outreach guy, whatever it might be. There's a massive lack of good people at doing it. And all of these guys in India, some of them who we spoke about last night, I've met in person. I know these guys are good people. I use Indian people for my stuff, but you guys are not selling it properly. You think cold outreach spam works, and it doesn't. I get emails from people in my inbox saying, "Hi, sir, how are you?" I know that instantly as a pitch. Then I say, "Yeah, I'm good. How are you?" "Yes, sir, I'm doing some good backlinks." so what? I don't care. Like, what is it you've got? Why should I use you? Now, these guys are begging for work. It's all about the content that you're giving out. They seem very desperate. You need to demonstrate authority and knowledge, and people will come to you. You need to turn that on its head, because everyone is spamming the life out of everyone in America, all over Europe, trying to get that work. Now, I get that there's billions of people that stay in India, and it's a very, very saturated market. But you know, that turns people off. You know, when it becomes so desperate and so much volume. And I truly believe that India has a lot of good people there. You know, you guys are very smart, very good, very hungry to work. You know, I've been in India. I'm not just saying this as a guy who's never been there. You know, I've been in India. I've got Indian friends, and you know, I know you guys are passionate, very friendly, and all of that stuff. You can do it, but you need to do it slightly different, and then people will use you for those services.
Yes, as you rightly said. So so spamming emails is not going to work. You need to demonstrate real skills, and then obviously you need to add value. So which is that.
Well, here's one thing. You said you went to Christoph Semper's LRT things, and you know, you got mentor from him. That opened up opportunities for you, right?
Very true.
You know, you met people. You know, you're investing in yourself. You have to network and build relationships like that, because you've been with Christoph, you know, and that is the difference between you and a guy that's just sitting in his back room spamming everyone. You know, you've invested in something, you've tried to learn and be better, and people will be more responsive to you than they will be to that guy who knows no one.
Right, very true. So it's all about investing. So that's why mentorship is so important, Craig. You know, even this session we are getting a lot of mentorship from you. So investing here is something which is very much required. So you have to invest in yourself, and that's how people grow, right? So knowledge is so important. And you know, I'm seeing the code which is behind, which is so inspiring, and it's all about learning each and every day. You rightly said. Now, yes.
I was going to say one more thing.
Yes.
Parth Subba, a young Indian chap who flew from India to the UK for an SEO conference.
Okay.
Now, you asked Parth Subba, he probably spent $1,000 traveling to the UK flights and all that stuff. It might have been more. Ask Parth Subba how much value he got for that $1,000. The relationships he met me, he met loads of other people. He is invaluable. Now, people respect Parth now. They've had a beer with Parth. Parth phoning me, Craig, can I come and meet you? Blah, 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 blah. That is a hungry, hungry man who deserves as much success in the world. Now, I've met Parth 2 years ago. Now, I have stayed in touch. Parth also came to Bangalore, where I was at the SEMrush conference. Parth has helped me in many, many ways. You know, over the 2 years that I've known him, different contacts that he's got in India that I need to speak to. You know, so this is a mutual thing. I wouldn't have known Parth unless he came to the UK.
Very true, because I know him personally. He's a fantastic guy. He's doing a lot of you know, hard work. He's growing, and as you rightly said, you have to you know, you have to work hard on yourself. You have to invest. And I'll tell you, during the lockdown time, even me and Parth, you know, we did a conversation like this as well. So you rightly said, it's all about building relationships, right? So net worth is equal to network, and and that is the best way to get a job, right? Which is very important. So it's all about building relationship, and then automatically job will come. Very true, very true. Relations are so important. And I also want to know, you know, if we are generating leads, you know, leads are so important for any businesses, and I guess number one priority for any business is lead gen. My question is, what do you suggest? Top 3 content framework that is gonna, you know, that's gonna generate a lot of leads in 2021. So what do you think? What kind of content we should generate? So should we do webinar, or should we create a lead magnets, or what kind of content should we create in order to generate leads?
I think one the first one would be to demonstrate your case studies, examples of you doing really good work. And now I wouldn't do that just on a webinar. Have a blog post about it. Do a live case study where you've taken a website from 0 to 1,000 hits a month or 5,000 hits a month, whatever it might be. Case studies that excites people. Show someone that you can actually rank a website. That sells really, really well. That is what people want. They don't want all of this technical bullshit audit stuff. No one cares what crappy website looks bad. So I think case studies is the best thing that you can demonstrate on here. And I think, for me, I think using platforms like YouTube, Facebook and stuff like that to demonstrate your knowledge is really something that's going to help you grow. Speak at conferences. It's an amazing thing to do. Listen, a lot of guys out there will say, no way, I'm not talking on that stage. I don't particularly like talking in front of loads of people, but why would someone use me before some other guy? Because I'm that guy that has invested in himself. I went to India, I've delivered knowledge, and people say, that guy knows what he's talking about. You have to do the same. So again, I'm not comfortable talking. I don't particularly enjoy it. And I'm used to it, but that's what works. And that's why I do things like this, because again, you're building your brand, you're building authority, you're building relationships, you're building everything. And, people can tell by the way that I talk that I'm not talking shit. So you can command authority that way and bring people to you using YouTube, webinars, Facebook, conferences. All of that stuff is what I would be doing. Does it matter that your website ranks? Absolutely not. Who cares about your website? You could do all of this stuff and not even have a website, really. That's it. As long as I can deliver affiliate websites that I've got that rank well and show them actual case studies, I don't even need a website.
Very true. So case study is so important. Very true, very true. It demonstrates how passionate you are about your work and proven results. That what care. You rightly said, it's all about value to your clients. So if you can add value to your client, you obviously going to make a lot of money if your clients are making a lot of money out of it. And that's why you rightly said, again, to invest in yourself. That's how we learn. As you said, we make mistake. Everyone makes mistake. And the idea is to learn from those mistakes. Mentorship, conferences, these are very good takeaways, Craig. And my friend was asking, how you keep yourself motivated, because we always see you motivated through your social media channels, and also how you, yes. So what makes you motivated every day?
To be honest, I think it's not about motivating myself as such. Like, I love SEO, and I thoroughly enjoy everything to do with SEO. So I think, see, if you don't love something and you're doing this as a 9-to-5 job, you're probably in the wrong job. Now, I love automation tools, black hat tricks. I get excited when someone shows me something new. I'm like a kid at Christmas, like, man, give me that tool. I get really excited. And it's just down to passion for what I do. Now, if I was passionate about cricket, I wouldn't be doing SEO. I would be putting that time and energy into being a cricketer, a showman or whatever. It doesn't matter what you do. You've got to enjoy it. And I think a lot of people in the SEO world don't actually enjoy it. And that's where I think you can differentiate the, the really good people and those who are just quite knowledgeable about what they do. Anyone that I know, that does SEO, it's not a job. It's just a way of life, and it's just, I could talk about SEO all day, every day. I don't need questions from you. I can answer anything you want. I've got nothing to hide. And I think that is just raw passion and years of making mistakes. And listen, I've made more mistakes than any of you guys probably combined watching this has made. I have fucked up so much stuff, hired all the wrong people. People have robbed me blind. You know, all of these things are all part of my learning curve. And I laugh at it. You know, it's got me to where I am today. So I think, you know, you have to learn. You're going to have an apprenticeship, and that apprenticeship is going to be 5 years plus, you know, hiring the wrong people, getting robbed blind. You know, there's guys out there charging you for a link on, you know, Forbes, for example, and they'll charge you $2,000, and then you found out you could have got it for $200. You know, these are all things that, you know, you just learn as you go. So be prepared to make mistakes, be prepared to make losses, you know, and care about what you do. You know, you might not be a fully blown SEO, you might just be a content marketer, you might be a link builder, but be passionate about it and understand how this shit actually works. Don't be a guy that, you know, I've seen link builders out there who say, don't buy links, do it this way. I mean, for real, like, you've got to understand that link building is about buying and you know, stuff like that. Now, you guys know that more than most. You know, personally, I think Indian guys are doing good link building, you know, and you guys make a lot of money from link building because you've got editorial access on, you know, Forbes India or any of these kind of websites. So you understand that money needs to change hands. You know that what John Mueller says, you know, let Google give you, you know, Google will reward you with some fucking free links. That doesn't happen. Money has to change hands. You need to understand that, and you know, that is what drives me. You know, I love the game. I love seeing people talking shit. I love people lying to me. I love it when people just spray out all this garbage because it's fun. I enjoy it. So that kind of keeps me motivated. You know, I enjoy it. I find it funny. And you've seen me on TikTok dancing around like a crazy guy. Whatever, you know, it's all fun. It's all exposure. And as I say, I just love what I do. That's it. There's no, I wake up and meditate or fucking, you know, anything like that. It's just all sheer inner passion. And listen, if you look across the world, look at, do you know that guy Digital Pratik?
Yes.
You know that guy? So Digital Pratik is very successful in what he does because he's passionate about it. He wants to be the next Gary Vee. He's out there doing his thing, bang, 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 every day. And he loves it. He absolutely loves it. He will tell you, he told me personally when I met him that, you know, he's not an SEO guy. He's not, you know, he just likes doing all this kind of motivational thing and talking and all that stuff. So he enjoys it. He understands his weaknesses and he's found a very good niche for himself. So it's where you position yourself in the market as well is so important. Do what you enjoy. Digital Pratik obviously loves being in camera. He loves, you know, the talking and all that stuff, and he's made a career. Someone said there, Digital Pratik is excellent in video content. He loves it. He's got his videographer following him around. He's invested in doing that stuff really, really well. So that is what you need to do, is take whatever you do and do it really well.
Well, yes. So you have to love your work. So that is criteria number one. So if you don't love your work, probably you cannot achieve that mastery.
Exactly.
And then we should never fear of making mistakes. So that is important. Yes, because when you try something new, probably that there might be some chances that you will end up in making mistakes. So reward yourself. Go ahead, see what's working, what's not working, because that happens with most of the entrepreneurs as well. Right? So someone who is starting a business, probably we don't know what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. So mentors are important, and then moving forward each and every day, that really counts, right? Because every master was an amateur, right? So story starts, and the point is, do you love your work? So you rightly said it's all about loving your work. If you love your work, you can take yourself to the next level. Very nice. And I personally also want to know, you know, what kind of resources do you recommend, you know, young people in case if they want to get knowledge specifically about SEO or digital marketing. So, do you can recommend some books or some blogs, some good mentors which we can refer, so that we can add value to ourselves?
Yeah, one thing I'll say before I start giving out any names or resources is
Okay.
be careful on how many people you follow. Be very, very careful. Do not follow 10 guys, because it can be very confusing. Probably follow 2 or 3 people that you believe are very good at what they do. If you follow 10, it all becomes a bit confusing and people contradict, because the problem you've got here with SEO, not one strategy works. The way someone else does it might be slightly different to what I do, and you might do something different. So there's multiple ways to get to the same end result. So try and not follow too many people. Now, I do have a YouTube channel which has got 500 plus videos. I've given away multiple free courses on my website. So there's a whole bunch of information there. But other guys in the industry that I personally have learned from would be Matthew Woodward. Is a great guy for affiliate marketing and understanding that side of things. But you've got a whole bunch of people all over the world who are really good at what they do. Now, you've got the likes of Kyle Roof. You've got Alida Solis, gives a lot of good value out there, and she deals with a lot of remote workers, freelancers and stuff like that. So she's got quite a lot of good stuff out there as well. Trying to think of other people that I personally like. Bradley Bennett is a great guy in America. Mike Pierce and Brad Maybury are another 2. Chris Palmer, who you may see me doing a show every Wednesday with. That guy is super geeky when it comes to SEO and has a lot of good knowledge. You've got the likes of Holly Starks, who has a YouTube channel. She's more of a YouTube SEO expert than an SEO expert. So that's probably a bunch of names there that you can look up. They're all going to be on YouTube. They're all going to be in Facebook. They're all going to be all over the place. You don't want to be... I'm not saying don't look at anyone else. Of course, look whoever you want to. But for me, I try to not move too far away from watching everyone. So yeah, that's who I would recommend.
And a couple of blogs you would recommend if we want to get knowledge specifically for SEO. So we'll surely go through courses. So I've seen your channels, and also a lot of my students, they have seen your channel and all. So it's really amazing, because we used to get email from you as well, and every email, we can see that you're putting a lot of efforts, educating people about SEO and all, and we really appreciate, because there are very less number of people who are actually doing this good work. And we firmly believe, I firmly believe that it's all about sharing. The more you share, the more you get. Right?
Yeah, that's it. You don't have to do it, but other blogs out there, you've got Backlinko, Brian Dean. Listen, and this might not go down that well, but I like Neil Patel. I think Neil Patel offers a lot of value. Now, I know half of the world think he's full of shit. However, I think Neil Patel's a very, very good marketer and puts out a lot of good information. Again, his blog has everything. There's also a guy in India, Harsh Agarwal from shoutmeloud.com. Harsh has amazing blog posts, on a wide range of subjects. He's got 2,000 plus blogs on his website. So Harsh is another great guy who puts a lot of value in terms of what tools to use, tutorials, and stuff like that. So these are guys that, again, have active blog posts that are pushing out what I would perceive as very good information.
Fine, thank you. Thank you for sharing all these blogs and all. And I'm sure this will add a lot of value. So we'll follow them. So guys, whosoever is watching this, go and follow all these people. Check Craig YouTube as well. Subscribe it. and you'll get a lot of information from Craig itself. And because we don't have much time, Craig, because you are really having a busy schedule, I'll not ask much questions. But anyways, we are getting a lot of questions now. So I'll take a quick one or two question. And one of the question a lot of people ask me, in SEO industry, how to handle pressure. So how do you manage stress? Because a lot of clients you're working with, different clients, they do have different expectations. Then you have to manage a team. So what are your 2-3 tips, that helps you to managing your work, stress life, pressure?
I mean, I think in terms of handling pressure, you need to be careful. Now, I am very passionate about what I do, but
Great.
what is really, really important is to be able to delegate a lot of the heavy lifting, the content, and all the kind of stuff like that. Now, I've got a team around me. I've got a sales guy, I've got an account manager, I've got a content writer, I've got a video editor, because they can do all of the heavy lifting and make my life easier. Now, that's really important, because when I ran an agency previously, I ended up super stressed, like I was on medication for stress, because it got to me that much. Now, the reason for that was because I couldn't switch off at nighttime. So it was super, I would work until 3 or 4 a.m. That's not healthy. You need to try and have a structured routine where you've got family time, chill out time, relaxation time, because if not, you will burn out. And it's really important, because I don't have emails on my phone. So if anyone messages me on my phone, they can't get me on my phone unless I deliberately go into the web browser and look at my emails. I don't have the Gmail app. I don't let people communicate on my phone, because if I did, I wouldn't be able to switch off. So I don't look at my phone in the evening. I just put my phone down and finish with work, because if not, someone will send you a message, you're up, I need to answer that email and do the work. So you need to make sure that the balance of your life is structured, because we've all got families, we've all got friends, we've all got time, we enjoy going out and going to the cinema or doing whatever you do. That stuff is super important. And when you do come to work, the way I see it is, when it's working time, I'll just do my work and be productive and get out the office. That's it. It's in, out, in, out. You have to see it like that. You can't let it overtake your life. For me, I work to have a good life. I do not live to work all day, every day. That is not what I'm about. And if I can spend some more money hiring a content writer and delegating as much as I possibly can to make my life stress-free, then that is the way to succeed in this game.
Very true. So it's all about allocation of the work, right? Right people at the right time, and have to make sure that you are hiring the right people. And probably you'll do this with experience and all. Very true. So very true. So work-life balance is so important. Right. Very true. And final question. Because okay, so one question, last question we'll take. I'll not take much time of yours. Final question, which is coming from Manan, is what he's asking is, what are the priority ranking factors for 2021, and how will SEO evolve in next 3 years? So any big changes, you are saying in Google algorithms or SEO as a whole in coming 3 years? So any advice that we should be ready, because it's important that we should know, if we can find it out, what's going to happen in next 3 years. So what do you say?
To be honest, back in 2010, 2012, 2015, people keep saying SEO's dead, SEO's going to change, AMP's coming out, site speed's coming out, SSL certificates are coming out, and they're all going to be huge, important ranking factors. See, at the end of the day, the main ranking factors are still content and links, the exact same way it was back in 2002. So a lot of people obsess over what might happen with Google, what might happen in 3 years' time. Do I believe that there's anything crazy going to change in the next 3 years? Nah, I really don't. I think you need to focus on doing the basics. Where I see a lot of people making mistakes is they will focus on technical SEO, and they won't even add a bit of content to their website. So people become obsessed with all of these other stupid little factors, and they don't add a landing page for the keyword that they're trying to target. So, you have to do the basics properly, and the basics will carry you a long, long, long way. Try and forget about what Google are doing. They released the other day Core Web Vitals. That's coming out in May. Who cares about Core Web Vitals, really? What difference is Core Web Vitals going to make to your website? It will probably make 0.001% difference to your website. So what is working now? Content and links. It has always been the case and is likely to always be the case. Someone's asking there, can you explain about passage indexing? Just to clarify, passage indexing has been out since 2015.
Okay.
People 6 years later are starting to talk about it. Now, passage indexing, just to explain to that guy what it means, is that Google can take a snippet of your content and index it for featured snippets and things like that, because if that content's super relevant to a search query that someone puts in, then that's what's going to happen. But that's not new. That's been there for years. So, it's only now that Google are starting to talk about passage indexing and more people are finding out about it. If you go back and read the patents for this stuff, passage indexing was 2015. So don't be confused about it. It's nothing new, although it's now just been spoken about. So a lot of people are making it out to be some big thing and, hugely important. It's not. It's really not. It just continue to do what you do, and you should do well.
Nice. So, okay, fine. So there are a lot of questions are coming up, but I request that we don't have much time as of now. And we have been talking a lot of things. So, from Brand with a Family, from everyone, we thank you, Craig, coming here and sharing such a wonderful tips, tricks, tool, a lot of things about life and all. And we wish you all the best. And thanks a lot for spending your valuable time. I'm very sure that, probably when you come down to India, make sure that we'll surely meet. And I'm also planning, if I get a chance to UK, as you said, invest in yourself. I will surely try my little best. I will come there. An objective is to have mentors like you and learn and grow ahead in life, right?
Exactly. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Craig. Take care. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Let's dream big. Thank you. Bye-bye.